This is the Big
All righty. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll from the beautiful dealership that is Toyota of Hollywood. It's always an amazing place to come to. And I think when you come to buy or lease a vehicle here, you will kind of feel the energy right away when you walk in. It's always a great vibe in here. Like the salespeople are really nice. You got Steve Ostrov out there and Herbie Lopez getting it done as always. And I got to tell you, they do a great job of creating even if you're waiting for your car with that ginormous waiting room, and they've always had we have to have our space, as they say, our social distancing. That waiting room is so enormous. It's been social distancing for forever as it is. And you got a couple of restaurants and all that good stuff. So welcome aboard, folks. Time to have fun here on the program as we do every Thursday here at Toyota of Hollywood. Remember, when you come on out here and you have a trade-in, you tell them that I sent you, and you will get $1,000 extra on your trade-in. So if you're looking to upgrade your vehicle, maybe you're tired of that money pit, you can actually then come on down here and get rid of the car and get into a beautiful Toyota like I have. I got my Camry, love my Camry, all that good stuff. We didn't have luck yesterday at the Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, as FC Dallas took care of business against us. Wow, what is this coming in now on Dale Talon? Interesting. Dale Talon, let me see what this story is coming across the wire here with Dale Talon. What's the deal here? Where are we at? Here we go.
What has he done now?
Yeah, new allegations. It says the NHL, after conducting an outside investigation, allegations that former Florida Panther GM Dale Talon made inappropriate racial, religious, and ethnic comments while in the bubble were not substantiated. The league received an anonymous tip in August that said Talon used racially derogatory language while the team was in the Toronto bubble and had in the past made openly racial, religious, and ethnic comments. According to a statement released on Thursday, on the same day the NHL received the allegations, the league retained Seyfarth Shaw LLP to conduct a full confidential investigation. Among other steps, Seyfarth interviewed over a dozen individuals in the Panther organization and reviewed all the information made available from representatives of the source through what was an anonymous report made. The NHL said in a statement the allegations were neither corroborated nor substantiated and are inconsistent with Talon's past actions and his affirmative efforts in support of diversity and inclusion initiatives. As a result, based on the investigation, the NHL has further concluded that there has been no established violation of NHL policy or protocol. There you go. All right, so now we know that Dale Talon just sucks at his job and he's not racist. All right, well, that's good. It's good to know that at least he just sucks at his job.
He's pretty good on the golf course, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he had plenty of time to work on it. He's got more time to work on it now. That's for damn sure. So appreciate it as always. Julius305 says no candy corn. Hell yeah, I'm with you, bro. Candy corn is just terrible. That was a subject from the Onside show. And it started actually from the Morning Juice guys. They're the ones that started it because Achilles likes candy corn. Out of the four guys, Achilles likes candy corn.
There's always that one weirdo, man. Always.
No, there's two weirdos.
There's
because
two.
Tito Benash, my producer on the Onside zone, he said he also likes candy corn.
That's one of those things that I can't believe they still actually make it. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I would be pretty close at egging your house if you gave me candy corn. Because you know how it is. You know, hey, listen, man, in Little Havana, we went trick-or-treating a different way. We had one bag for candy, and we had some rotten eggs in another bag.
Ones that you had buried like we did for a few weeks prior to?
Yeah, you bury them for a while, and then you dig them up the day of Halloween. And, so just in case you don't want to give us candy, you want to turn the lights off, you don't want to answer the door, or you give us candy corn, suffer the consequences. That's all I'm saying.
That smell from a week or 2 week old buried egg,
Yes.
that doesn't go away for a while.
Oh yeah. No, it was, and in my
special.
neighborhood, it was classic because some of us would bury eggs, and we had a traditional egg fight at the park. Okay, Arbondale Elementary was our park in our neighborhood, and I remember that during Halloween, we would have a traditional egg fight at the park, and the park had an enormous field. Now I think that field is mostly taken up with all kinds of buildings and stuff like that because obviously more kids and they had to build more classrooms. But back then we had the whole field to ourselves, and at night it was an interesting egg fight. That's all I can tell you. And just to add, insult to injury, the guys that couldn't find eggs or didn't have eggs or didn't buy eggs, they would then go over to Velvet Cream, which was actually 2 blocks away from the park, and they would go to the dumpster where they would throw away the 2-day-old donuts. And I say 2 days because when I was a kid, Velvet Cream used to sell day-old donuts. And they would sell them at, I think it was like 4 cents or 5 cents, something like that. And us kids, you sold a couple mangoes. You only had 50 cents in your hand. So you would go buy 2-day-old glazed donuts for 8 cents or 10 cents. And then you go get yourself a Coke. And you were in, dude. You were loving life, bro. For 50 cents, you had 2 donuts and a Coke. I mean, that's, could you do any better than that? You go to the machine, you grab that 25-cent Coke. It's a bottle. The one you pay for $2 now, and then you go get a couple of day-old donuts. You're good. So in the dumpster, they would have the 2-day-old donuts, or maybe even 3. I'm not sure. Those were being heaved during Halloween. So it was like an egg and old donut fight. So imagine how you got home. Hey, your mom would you smelled like crap. Because at one point or another, you were going to get hit by a rotten egg. You tried to avoid the rotten eggs as much as you could, but there's a good chance that it was going to hit you at one point or another. Those weren't fun. But we thank Velvet Cream for also assisting in the donut fights or whatever, the Halloween fights, which were great. There we go. There we go. Okay. Had to fix the mic.
You feel leveled off now, man?
Yeah. Because then
Okay.
I'm slouching and I'm bending my back over, and you want to kind of keep straightened up a little bit here when you're doing the show. Anyway, welcome aboard. It's a great way to start the day or the show with an egg and donut fight story.
Haven't seen the Destroyer, man. That's awesome, bro.
Oh, I haven't worn this one yet?
I don't think. No, I've seen another Kiss, but not specifically the Destroyer.
Yeah, I have a couple of Kisses. I had to get this one because this is my favorite album of all time from Kiss.
Of course.
This is one of those albums. Play it.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Front to back.
Don't touch it.
Leave it alone. Let the record play. Let the 8-track. Let the cassette. Let the CD.
Well, back in the day, don't go over there and mess with the arm on the freaking needle. Leave it alone.
Leave it. Destroyer was an album that you can just absolutely jam all the way through, which is always a beautiful thing. John says, hey, thank you for changing the text line on Onside Radio. I was the one who DM'd you on Twitter about my text wasn't going through. It was a pain in the ass. I'm glad we changed it. I told them, hey, we can't have that whole thing about initiating with a word. And then the worst part about it was that you would have to do it every day. And that was no good. So we just changed it to one number like we have on our text line here. Same thing. That's exactly what I wanted. It's kind of what we have here where you could just text in. It's not like you have to text in a word to initiate it and all that. And, people don't have time for that stuff. So we had to change it. And I'm glad that folks are participating. And it's really nice. We already went over 1,000 followers on Twitter already. We've only had the account for a week. So it was really cool. A lot of great people are working there, and putting it together. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. In fact, when I'm done here, I'm racing back over to the stadium because I'm actually meeting somebody else that potentially could be joining the station and doing another show there because we are trying to expand also the lineup a little earlier. I want to start off. Eventually, I want to start off at 6 in the morning and end at midnight, where we're only replaying 6 hours, and that'll be like best ofs out of the 18. And that's a lot easier to fill. Right now we're doing 12, and then we have 12 hours of replay, and we do some best ofs and different shows and things like that. So I appreciate all of you out there for making the switch and following us also on Onside Radio. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Onside Radio, even Reddit. Follow us there. As always, appreciate all of you out there. As always, I thank you so much. Kareem says, Big O here in Denver. Love Onside Radio. Thank you, thank you. We got a great lineup, man. I'm really, really proud of all the people that have come together to help us out. NorCal says 3 candy corns and 3 peanuts taste like a payday. Don't hate on my favorite veggie. Candy corn. Oh, my God.
That classifies as a veggie with peanuts. Nice.
I guess. Big O, you might have had it wrong with Justin Herbert. He seems like he's got it all. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He's started off, and he's looked pretty good. I will say that. The guy I'm going to blame more than anybody else, and I got to bust his balls if I ever see him, is Mario Cristobal. Because Mario Cristobal never ran offenses like this at Oregon. It was always super conservative, always had him running, and he never had that it moment there at Oregon, ever. So if anything, I would ask Mario, like, dude, you had a guy that can sling it, and why weren't you slinging it? Why the hell weren't you slinging it? Crazy stuff. Samuel says, what up, everybody? Can't wait for Sunday. Reporting from Atlanta, where half of the city is out of power because of Tropical Storm Zeta. Yeah, no, man, it's been terrible. The people in Alabama, and it's 3 storms already in 2020. 3 storms. Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl tweeted out yesterday, like, 3rd time I lose power in 3 storms now in 2020. Get hit by 3 storms. I mean, that's just crazy, man.
Being around that Gulf, man, it's such a super producer of hurricanes.
Yep.
Anybody around the Panhandle, seriously, if we lived in that area, would be pondering the idea of just getting out of here.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Egg fights, oh my God, old school, but true, LOL. That's right, Marta. It's I was eggs and donuts in my neighborhood. Mike Jamorzek says, good afternoon, all. The Brash Bandit is in. He says Tua is coming. Drubu says, Coward just said Tua's too short to be good. What a hack. I think the people are underestimating Tua, but the entire team also. Colin Coward is a guy that it's like fluff talk. It just is. It's a guy that comes up with like weak ass hot takes on a consistent basis. He doesn't really do his homework, actually. Whatever, bro. Let's see, what else do we have? Bring in Perkins. Oh, I love that guy. I love Perkins, but he's no longer doing sports. I don't know if you knew that, but he's he's tracking storms, and he's writing news now at the Sun Sentinel. It's not sports anymore. But if we do have some kind of funky ass weather or something that he's writing about, he'll be one of the first guys we call and bring him on. Big O, did you hear Solo D's Tua Time song? The kid has enormous hype to live up to. I have not heard it. But I would imagine it's good because Solo D does excellent work as always. Let's see. Julius 305 says, I was kidding, and yes, she is hot. Okay, so what were you saying before that wasn't, that you were off by? Let me see, I just see no candy corn. I don't see anything else. What did you say? I don't know what that is. Let's see what else there is. I just wish Ethan can be on the air for at least 2 hours. Be careful. You may get what you want. Okay? That could happen very near. Ethan and I have already spoken about it. It's a matter of his schedule, and eventually we could expand that show very soon. So, but it's not on me. It's on Ethan. So I got to work with him on that. For now, he can commit to an hour. Where eventually we want to expand it to 2, and then I would imagine Lemon City then will go from 7 to 9, and Ethan will do 9 to 11. Is probably what will happen down the line. Okay, so that's kind of it's a little news, little on-side radio news. That probably could happen in the future. I've spoken with Ethan about this. We spoke about this right from the get-go, but at the moment, he could only commit to an hour. So I can't have any host, any show, that they can't commit to the time that they say they're going to do it. Okay, if you're going to do it, you got to do it. You know what I mean? So for now, he can commit to the hour, but I would not be surprised if you see that show expand to 2 hours down the line. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so it all there could be tweaks all throughout, not changing the people, but expanding and creating a little more programming is what, because I love all the people we have on. I definitely want to keep all these people on and grow from here and add some other elements to all of it. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Mike says pocket awareness, anticipation, accuracy have always been the attributes needed for a college QB to transition successfully to the pros. I'm not worried about Tua. I'm with you. Julia says Coward and his sidekick Joy. Well, I like Joy. I'm not. I won't pick on Joy. Joy's cool. I'm good with Joy. Coward for me does nothing, just nothing. It's just too many times that I've heard him say stuff. And like he said the other day with Joy about the Heat, like, oh, they got 2 players and nobody to shoot around. And it's like, when you
no
say
3-point shooters, no 3-point shooters on that team.
When you say something that stupid and that ignorant, it's like, dude, like, don't talk about the NBA if you don't follow the damn league. It's ridiculous, bro. But I get it. You live in LA, so you're in the bubble, and all you do is follow your LA teams. You know what I mean? But it's a dude that comes up with these weak ass hot takes, and he's rarely ever prepared. But whatever, man. It is what it is. What can I tell you? Kelvin Smith is in. James Roman is in. Dennis Akers is in. Omar Lopez. All the boys, all the girls, everybody chiming in, and we thank you all for keeping it locked here on the program. If you want to get in, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Rivera was smart and got long receivers or guys with range. Pats have Oompa Loompas. Okay. That's an exchange that I had a couple of days. Herbert is a stud. He fooled me in college. Could have been the offense with all the bubble screens. Yeah, no, the Herbert thing is kind of screwed up. It is. He's playing completely different than he did before. Again, doesn't mean he's arrived, but I got to give him credit. The kids look pretty good. Onside Radio is awesome, Big O. Keep it up, brother. It's nice to hear Captain Curtis Stevenson on Onside with you all. Curtis is not with us. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure there. So maybe you got it mixed up with another name. I'm not sure. Love Curtis. Curtis is a friend. But I don't think you're actually paying attention. I've listened to your pod last night, and you said the Dolphins won 3 times on Sunday. You were wrong about one of them. We wanted and needed the Jets to win. We were chasing Buffalo for the AFC East, and we certainly do not need the hated Jets to get Trevor Lawrence, right? Wrong. No, I don't mind if they get Trevor Lawrence. Not going anywhere. Listen, we've gotten to the point that it doesn't matter if the Bengals get Joe Burrow. It doesn't matter if the Jets get Trevor Lawrence or if they get Sam Darnold or if they get whoever they get. They're going to ruin it. And those people that are telling Trevor Lawrence not to come out and go to the NFL, go to the Jets and stay in Clemson, they're right. I normally would be against that, but let's go through the history. Eli Manning told the Chargers, no thanks, and it worked out. Got 2 titles. Rivers, 0. John Elway told the Colts, not interested. Worked out. 2 titles. Colts got nothing. Right? Colts didn't get a title till, Tony Dungy with Peyton Manning years later. But, again, that organization had turned by then. They had Bill Polian there for years. They built up that organization again to be respectful. Not that Irsay gets any respect. Okay? The dude walking around with a Pez dispenser full of, pills. That no respect for Irsay, but people have respected the football organization overall, and so that's the difference. But now, it gets to the point, wow, the White Sox will hire Tony La Russa as manager. Holy crap. He last managed in 2011.
Is he the oldest manager?
He's got to be.
Right? That's the first thing that popped in my head.
54, he's got to be close to 80.
I think he is on. I think
he's in his 70s.
Yeah. No, I think
easily
he's
70s. Got to be close to 80, bro. He's got to be pushing 78. He's somewhere in the 70. I'll go 77 to 82. Got to be somewhere in that area. That's crazy. But listen, we're at a point now that if you're the number 1 pick and the Jets want you or the Bengals want you, you need to go back to school if you have that option. Or if not, tell them, I'm not playing for you guys. You better trade me. Because I am not playing for you guys. Okay? What is he?
3 days after you, brother. 76 on October 4th.
Wow. October 4th, huh?
So he's, new hire to a job manager, 76. I got to think this pushes for the record.
Yeah, that dude is older than dirt, bro. Dan Horsley says, I agree that a Buffalo loss would have helped us in the standings, but it's so much more fun to see a team, particularly the Jets, coached by Gase, get their butts kicked. Yeah, that's why I disagree with that guy or woman that sent in that text. I thought the Dolphins won. You gotta enjoy the Jets' suffering, dude. There's nothing wrong with that.
Actually, that game was like kind of a no-lose situation for us.
Right.
The Jets lose, the Buffalo Bills lose. We win.
Right. No, I'm with you. Hey, let's take a really quick break here. Give me 2 minutes. All right, we're going to take a really quick break here. We're coming to you live from Toyota of Hollywood. Give me 120 seconds, and we're right back. Hey, it's Big O. For all of your family dental needs, please reach out to Mudias Dental. I've known Eric for a while, a big fan of our show. Call him at 305-821-0231. Whether it's you or your kids that need some dental help, whether it's implants, Invisaligns, they are the experts. Or if you're just looking to fill a cavity or clean your teeth, or maybe even get a crown, you are going to love the professionalism, the family-like atmosphere, and of course, when you talk about being clean, that's what it's all about in today's society. You are going to go to an extremely clean place. Go to MudiasDental.com. Go to the website. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Mudias Dental. Tell them that Big O sent you. 305-821-0231 or go to MudiasDental.com. All right, we back. We're out here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Great place as always. Like I said, the vibe is always there. And one of the guys that helps create the vibe here is Herbie Lopez. And Herbie, is his mic up there? Herbie, when I came in here, one thing I always notice is the vibe in this place.
Yeah, you gotta create a great environment for your employees. And if your employees are happy, then they become effective and they're great with the customers too. So you got to build that culture, that atmosphere, and that's what we got here. We want to take care of our customers. We want to take care of our employees. We want to take care of everybody.
You normally don't see that in any dealership, pretty much. You know, it's kind of it's a different vibe that you get here than in most dealerships. It's kind of a business-like atmosphere in a way. You know what I mean? And here, you know, you're not wearing a tie, or people are really friendly. You've got all kinds of things. Sometimes it's somebody singing. It's a radio station or a radio show, or face painters or whatever. And then you got restaurants in here. I mean, it's just I got to give you guys credit because, at least when somebody walks in, it's not intimidating.
Right.
In other words, you've taken the intimidation away from dealerships.
Well, I'm a big sports guy.
Yeah.
So I always look at, successful teams. What's the first thing they talk about? Creating a great culture.
Yes.
Right? So that's one of the first things that we wanted to do and create. I've been here now 22 years. So I've been here for a while. It takes a while to create that. And then number two is you look at a company like Google, right? And one of the things that they always rave about, especially their employees, is it's completely different. It's not that corporate environment.
Right.
I've been to other dealerships myself. I'm also a customer. I also purchase cars. And anytime that I've ever gone to another dealership, I hate that feeling of going in there and it's sterile. And and I don't mean sterile from a cleanliness, because obviously there's a very sterile place.
That's important too.
I'm talking about from an atmosphere, right? I'm talking from an atmosphere and how you feel, and everybody's looking at you and stuff like that.
You're nervous when you walk in.
Right. Over here, we want everybody to feel as comfortable as possible. We know buying a car, it's not the greatest of feelings when you think about it, but hopefully once you come here, it's a different experience, and you say, you know what, it's completely different from what I thought I was going to encounter.
Yeah, third biggest decision you'll make in your life. 1 is marriage, 2 is your house, and then 3 comes a car.
Yep.
Pretty much. So yeah, it's usually a big decision, and you guys do a really good job with it, man.
Thank you. It means a lot to me when I hear that.
No, because it's obvious, dude. I mean, even you got like a little museum here too. I mean, there like all kinds of little things here and there.
It's a fun place.
You're right, exactly. It kind of adds to the experience. Somebody's asking me, Anthony Giandelletti is watching, says, hey, don't know if you said this or mind repeating, but what are the realistic expectations you have for Tua this week? And he says, stats-wise, thanks. I don't know about stats, but I don't know about you, how you're looking at it, because you're a Dolph fan too. I just want him to play smart. That's it. I can't expect him to win. If he wins, great, but I don't want him to be part of why you lost because he made a whole bunch of mistakes. To me, if the kid goes out and plays a fundamental game, then everything else will take care of itself. If the team is better than the Rams that day, they'll win. If the team isn't, maybe he'll lose a close game. But for me, I just want him to play fundamentally. What are you expecting from Tua?
Listen, me and you had that conversation prior to the draft, and I've been watching football for quite a long time, and especially college football. I've never seen a more accurate passer ever play in college. I mean, he's just that awesome.
Yeah, he is.
And on top of that, we go back to the whole culture thing.
Yes.
This guy is such a great guy.
Yes.
And you always got to be, I think, to be great leaders, you got to play the part as well. You can't just talk the talk. You got to walk the walk.
I agree.
This guy has all the intangibles to be extremely special. And, Flores sees it. Flores sees it on a day-to-day basis in practice. If he made that change when the Dolphins are on a 2-game win streak and going into
3
the
out of
bye,
4. 3 out of 4.
right?
They've won 3 out of 4.
Yeah, they won 3 out of 4. He had to have seen something that says, "Hey, listen,
He's kicking ass.
right? We can take this thing to the next level, and we can start scoring some touchdowns, be an exciting team." And you see what Justin Herbert's doing over with the Chargers.
Yeah.
I know Burrow doesn't have a line, so he really, you
They
can't.
don't win a lot. No,
Right.
neither one's winning a lot.
Right, but at least Justin Herbert's looking impressive.
Yeah, he is. Not winning, but yes, he is.
So-
Definitely. Again, not his fault why they're not winning. I'm just saying he's not winning right now. You know?
Again, I just think this kid's going to be special.
I agree. No, I'm
I
with
think
you.
he's going to be special.
There's only one concern I have with him.
right, the injury.
That's it. That's the only concerns I've had with him from day one. But like you said, I mean, the dude is dead on accurate, bro.
And I've watched
Crazy.
that play where he got hurt. I've watched it 20 times. It's just it's an odd injury. It is
Yeah.
an odd injury. The fact that he's mobile again, the fact that everything coming out of practice is this kid is pre-injury.
Right.
So again, I think as long as that freak injury doesn't happen or occur, and he can get past that, we've got a winner. We got a winner, and I think he's going to be that special where we're gonna, wow. Since Dan Marino, I think he's gonna be the first quarterback that we just say, wow.
Yeah, I'm with you. No doubt about it. By the way, I know it's the end of the month, so you guys turn it up here at the end of the month as you're cranking out the cars. Over 1,500 cars and trucks out here in 400,000 square feet. So what do you got going on this weekend so people can take advantage of the last couple of days?
Last weekend of the month. One other thing that we've done is we make sure if you can't make it out this weekend and you're going to come out in the first few days of November, we're going to extend those programs as far as we possibly can. But we've got interest as low as 0%, 0 down, leasing. The incentives from Toyota are just unbelievable. What we do is we extend all our dealer cash, which is what Toyota gives us, to the customer. We really try to help them out. Whether you're upside down, your interest rate is too high, and you want to drop your interest rate, you want to get into a bigger car because that family's grown. Whatever it is, you got an older vehicle and you want a new vehicle. Come see us. Come see us because we're going to take care of you. That's how we've grown so big. We're the number 2 dealership in the whole United States, and we're the number 1 in the whole southeast region of the United States.
Yep.
And the reason why we got there is we took care of our customers. We take care of our backyard and anybody that comes in.
Well, we've sent personally several listeners. My mother-in-law, I bought a car here, so I've got plenty of examples. And remember, if you're coming in and you're going to trade in a car, you'll get an extra $1,000 if you mention me here at Toyota of Hollywood. So 1841 North State Road 7. So I just want you to know what kind of a break can I get on one of these Supras. And by the way, you sold the blue one?
We sold the blue one.
That was awesome.
Again, when you
How many blues did they make? That color, they didn't make a lot of.
I think they made I want to say 500 cars at the most.
And
They didn't give us a number, but it was a limited
yeah, it's
production.
a limited
That's a special
production.
vehicle.
And I'm sure that blue was not, I'm sure there were more reds and blacks.
Right.
You know what I mean? That blue was awesome.
And now you have all the 21s coming in. So you got all the new model years coming in. Something exciting that was presented to us at the auto show. We had a virtual auto show with Toyota for the first time, and from the top, one of the cars that I'm so excited about coming out in 2021 is a Corolla Cross, and this Corolla Cross is going to be just a little bit smaller than our RAV4, same size as the old RAV4. And they're building a plant in the United States for that vehicle specifically. You know how the Corolla brand is just
Enormous.
powerful, right?
Enormous.
We sell so many Corollas.
I know.
We sell just Corollas alone. I want to say we sell close to 350 to 400 cars.
And they're sharp looking now, dude.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. So they're coming out now with an SUV. It's just exciting. It's exciting to work for Toyota, to have such a powerful product that a lot of people identify themselves with.
Yeah.
And
obviously. I've had 3 in my lifetime.
it's just there's a reason why they're number 1.
Yeah. Super reliable, dude. Change the damn oil, change the filters and the brakes, and the damn thing will last you forever.
And-
No, it's like any other car. You don't want to change the filter, you don't want to change the oil, you want to run it into the ground, you'll screw up every car
Not just
in the
that.
world. But if you just do the basic maintenance, you'll be fine,
So,
bro.
so it'll last you a long time. Remember, Toyota has also their Toyo Guard program, which keeps you
Yes.
covered with the maintenance,
I have that.
right? Other manufacturers don't do that either. And then on top of the fact, because you have a combination of the car lasts a long time, but how much does it cost to keep it,
Right.
right? And then how safe is the vehicle and how efficient is it in gas?
Right.
When you've got all those combinations, you can hit all those, and then the resale value of it later on. What car holds the most value is going to be a Toyota. So
Yeah.
again, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. If you get one of those Supras, talk about holding value. how about
It's a relic.
How about value 20 times? I mean, that's just crazy. All right, man. Hey, Herbie, thank you as always, my brother. I know you got to go to a meeting. Appreciate you taking some time.
Always a pleasure
And-
being on the radio with you.
Thank you, my brother, and thank you for hosting us as always. You got it. There you go, the great Herbie Lopez out here, and what a picture because you get to see that red Supra right there. I see that. That Supra is so. Yeah, Bill says he needs to take that Supra home, but they sold the blue one. That blue one, we showed it to you the last couple of weeks here. That blue one, and that thing was just absolutely awesome. But there's your answer. Anthony, it's not about stats, bro. It's not about numbers. That's not going to make me happy. What's going to make me happy is a win. What's going to make me happy is that he stays healthy. What's going to make me happy is that he plays smart. I don't want to see a kid go out there and make all kinds of stupid mistakes and buries his team. And, it's just one of those where you sit there and you go, wow, they spent the number 5 overall pick on this? That's what I don't want. I just want a kid to go. He's a rookie, man. He's first game starting, going up against the Rams. I can't expect him to go out there and dominate them, but I just want him to play a smart game. He does that, the rest will be fine. Everything else will work out. Tremolio says, I read Rosen was given the same opportunity last year with regards to Flo asking him to watch film with him like he does with Tua. The word was Rosen was too stupid when analyzing the game. Well, I don't know if he's too stupid analyzing the game, but he certainly did not adjust to it, okay? Maybe he's not really supposedly dumb, but again, it's a weird thing, Tremolio. I'll give you an example. Zach Thomas will tell you that he's not a rocket scientist. He's the first guy who will tell you, I'm not a very smart guy. But football, he's a freaking Einstein. You know what I mean? So it's not really a base of general intelligence. It's football intelligence and figuring out and deciphering what's going on. And clearly, Rosen struggled with that on the field. So I can believe that behind the scenes, when Flo had his meetings with him, he probably got frustrated with him and said, "No, this kid doesn't have it." And that's why I keep telling everybody, including my boy Omar Kelly, that doesn't want to believe it. If Flo is making this change, it's because you cannot stop Tua. Okay, that's what it is. He's just kicking so much ass behind the scenes that they're like, okay, we do no good anymore for this kid to sit here. If he can take a hit and he's healthy, get him out there because he knows exactly what to do. And he must be burning everybody in practice. Okay? Like I said, go look at Shaq Lawson's eyes when he talks about him, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, some of the comments we heard from Fitz, he flat out said, there's some throws that he can throw that I could never throw.
And that's what they're seeing. Raul says, Big O, what do you think Tua will record his first TD or interception? Oh, TD for sure. I think he's going to be a smart player, man. I don't think he's going to make mistakes. I only worry about one thing with the kid. That's it. All I worry about is when he does get tackled, I just need to see him get up again. That's all. That's what I need. I want to see how Tua makes pre-snap adjustments, pocket presence, and chemistry with the receivers. I think he'll have that. You know what? Let's do this. Why don't we hear from Tua himself? How about that? Okay? Let's do that. Let's play Tua's...
Changing gears on me here. Hold on.
Let's play Tua's press conference, and let's hear his conversation yesterday with the media, and we'll break it down like we like to do. Here is the young man Tua addressing the media yesterday.
Hey, Tua, I was curious, how did you spend the bye week? I know it was time to prepare for the Rams. How exactly did you use that time?
Yeah, I was up here a lot. I spent a lot of my time up here at the facility, just watching some film, but also working out. I would say, I got with some of the guys as well, just so we could work on some timing with certain things, certain routes. And really the only off day I had was Sunday.
Steve?
Let me tell you something here. Pause that a second. And this is the kind of stuff that you cannot take for granted. Because when you draft Johnny Manziel, you're drafting a clown that is worried about his image. He needs to go party. He's not the last guy out the building, not the first guy in the building, not dedicated to it, and you end up seeing it. Here's a young man that on his off week, he understands how imperative it is for him to know his craft. And so he will work with receivers like he did. He only had one off day the entire week, was Sunday. And you know what he probably did? He probably spent his Sunday watching football. And what's really nice is that you have actually somebody that wants to be a professional. They're paying you a lot of money, and they're ready to hand you a responsibility of being the face of the franchise, the leader of the franchise. And the quarterback has to be the guy that works harder than everybody else. Okay? That's just the way it has to be. You have to set the example. So that way nobody can slack off. And that's how you send a message that you're in charge and that I'm setting a standard of work ethic that you need to follow. Because if you're going to play with me, then you better be prepared. Okay? And I think that that's one of the things you love about this kid is that he's going to take this job seriously. When he has an off time in the off season, I'm sure he'll take the time to hang out with his parents and his family. And if he has that special someone, I'm sure he'll hang out with that special someone. But this is one of those individuals that understands the immense responsibility that is being placed at his feet. And when you got a guy like Tua, it's pretty cool because it's nice to see a guy that actually understands what he has to do for his teammates and his franchise.
Tua, it's only human nature to have at least a little about the hip. And so I'm wondering, what do you anticipate that first hit is going to feel like, especially because it's been a long time coming?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but that's just the nature of the game. I don't know what the hit's going to feel like. Every hit is different that you take in football. So I'm really not too sure. And I don't think you could ever prepare for hits. It's just something you got to go out knowing it's going to happen, whether it's the first play of the game, first quarter, or maybe third, second, fourth. You just never know.
Cam?
Hey, Tua, I noticed that you were, like on social, you posted a video where you had a sweatshirt that said humble over hype. And it stood out to me because obviously you've had a lot of hype coming into the league. How have you sort of managed everybody talking about you and sort of keeping yourself even killed?
Yeah, well, I think what helps for me is my family. My family's not too big on, the hype and whatnot. It's more so just being a good son for them. And a lot of the times when I do come home, and I talk to my parents on the phone, they don't really necessarily want to know about how football went. They just want to know how everything is with me as a person, just how my day was and things like that. But I think what also helps me too is the coaches here and my teammates. You get joked on and whatnot, and just the competition you have with the guys at the facility. So I don't think anyone here at this organization can kind of get get too caught up in any of the hype. Everyone's just so focused on what they got to do to help the team be successful.
I like the fact that he is, as always, grounded and grounded and not buying into the hype, not pulling the Johnny Manziel, oh, you're coming to see me work out? Let me put on shoulder pads and rock and roll music or rap music or whatever the hell he was blaring all over the practice field. And you have these guys, the Odell Beckhams of the world that have to wear a watch on the field. They have to do stupid things to try to bring attention to themselves. They're almost more focused on, the antics than actually the responsibilities. And that's the beauty of a kid like Tua, that, again, the great ones are like that. The great ones are, Michael Jordan was going to go party and go have fun in Vegas and go gamble and all that good stuff. But when it came time to work, nobody was going to outwork him. So he was able to compartmentalize. And not that even Tua has that edge that Michael had off the court. Michael is a special guy, man, because you think about it, he's the guy that could go out till 4 a.m, but he knew that the next day he wasn't going to use it as an excuse on why he struggled. He was going to go out and kick your ass no matter what. Okay, if he had a flu or if he was partying in Vegas till 3 a.m, the next day he was going to hit 45 on your head. And because he was wired differently. And these kind of guys that are wired like Tua, it's nice to know that they're not buying into their own hype. And it's Odell Beckham watching that one-handed grab replayed everywhere, and his head just gets bigger and bigger and bigger throughout, and it becomes an issue for everybody else. That's the good thing. You're not going to get that from Tua. Go ahead, Bill.
About your relationship with Fitz as a father-son relationship. How's it been this week as far as Fitz supporting you, and you feel he'll support you on the sideline Sunday?
It's the same thing as when Fitz was playing. Nothing really feels any different. Now that I'm in, the only thing that's different is I'm getting the reps now. But with Fitz, after series, when we have our first team series, second team series, third team series, I come off to the sideline and Fitz always has something that he wants to say to me, whether it has to do with protection, with where he would look at as far as progression reads, and how he would read certain things out that can make it easier for me, hopefully come time Sunday.
Sovereign?
So what's your thoughts on facing, a guy like Aaron Donald, a DB like Jalen Ramsey, and players on that defense on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting for our offense and our team. It'll show, what kind of team that, we kind of have, after a bye week and whatnot. But we know what we're going up against. We're going up against one of the top NFL defenses, in the league. And it's not just Jalen Ramsey. It's not just Aaron Donald. You guys got, Leonard Floyd. You guys got Brockers, Young, and then Troy Hill, guys on the back end. So they're very sound defensively. So, we're really trying our best to prepare as well as we can against these guys and their DC and their OC. And, their head coach, they all know what they're doing. So we know this isn't going to be any easier from here on out.
Travis?
Hey, Tua, how's it going? Back in Indianapolis, I had a chance to talk to your former teammate Xavier McKinney about some of the interactions you guys had post-practice and what you saw and what he saw. Come to find out, we heard from Bobby McCain. He said the same thing about you and him this past training camp. I'm curious what those conversations were like and what you're able to glean from Bobby as far as his defensive perspective on your game.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me to do is get into the mind of those DBs, of those safeties. Like what are they thinking, like in a 3-by-1 set, and just things like that. What are some little things that can help me better my game and improve my game, whether it's my eyes or whether it's staring down a guy and then throwing it somewhere else. It's just trying to get a little edge on what to look out for when it's time for a game situation.
It's that's a great statement because it also shows you that he checks his ego at the door. You know, some guys may think it's above them to go ask the defensive player what's going on. What are you thinking? What is a DB thinking in this situation? What are you trying to do to the quarterback? And sometimes it's an ego thing. Sometimes it's something that you think you're showing a weakness or something by doing that. And one of the reasons why I have immense confidence in this young man, and again, the only thing I ever worry about has nothing to do with football. It has to do with his body. And can he hold the pounding? And that's the one thing that we have no idea. None of us will know until he takes the field. But when people ask me, you know, do you think he's going to play well? I don't put a number on the stats. Oh, he's going to throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns. None of that. I told you, I just want to see him play smart. But part of playing smart and being fundamental, here's a guy that has a meeting every week with his head coach, who's a defensive-minded guy, to get all that information. And then he's also getting information from defensive players on what they're thinking. So he knows that his defensive players are going to think a lot alike like the other ones that he's facing every week. So why not pick up as much information as possible? Not just from Chan Gailey, not just from my quarterback's coach, not just from my offensive coordinator in college or anybody else, but if I can get information on the other side of the ball, I'm going to do it. And to me, that's why a kid like this is going to be prepared. That's why I tell you that when you go look at his first pass last week against the Jets, or 2 weeks ago against the Jets, and he completes that pass to the left side of Patrick Laird, again, I want you to see that there was another receiver at the line of scrimmage, wide open, easier throw, and he could have made that throw. And yet, under duress, under the pressure, he chose to go to the more difficult throw and fundamentally the smarter throw, because it was the throw that would be caught, go out of bounds, and stop the clock. Whereas the one in the middle of the field or in between the hash marks was going to keep, you probably weren't going to get to the sidelines and stop the clock. So if you were trying to drive to get points, that wasn't going to help you. Smart, man.
You think that went a big way to them making their decision? I mean,
everything.
Dude, you're 6 yards deep. He wasn't. He was on the back end of the end zone.
Yeah.
6 yards deep under your own goalpost. 2 big defensive linemen breathing down your neck.
Right.
And you go to the second, not the check down, the second receive. That's.
I'm telling you.
And hit it on the money running
Yeah.
to your line.
This kid must be just putting on a show back there. And that's why they said, we can't stop him anymore. We have to play him. All right, go ahead.
At the quarterback position, obviously leadership is arguably the most important, element. What is now that you're the starter, what is your leadership plan?
Well, I think my leadership plan is just to be the same, the same Tua I've always been. I don't got to go out yelling at guys. That's just not the way I lead. I'm just going to be me, how I am on the sideline, how I am off the field. It's pretty much how I'm going to be on the field. There might be certain instances where, we might get into it a little bit with the receivers or, the linemen. But, everyone's just so competitive here. That's just the nature of how the game goes sometimes.
We'll take 2 more. Josh?
Yeah, knowing that with Chan and just all the experience he has, both in college and the NFL, how much do you think your relationship with I'm not sure what happened to I was just asking about Chan. How much do you think your guys' relationship will help in your development, just knowing all the reps that he has in the league?
Yeah, I think, you look at the resume of Chan. He's been in the NFL. He's been in college. He's been a head coach. He's been an OC. This is someone who knows what he's talking about. And he knows what he's talking about when he talks about the defense, and he knows what he's talking about offensively. So for me, it's just a great opportunity to be able to learn under someone like Chan. I think the really good thing about Chan is, he puts all of us as an offense that he feels like into the best situation possible. So whether it's play calls or, just trying to maneuver guys into areas to put the offense in a good position, I think he does a great job at it.
The last one, Hal.
Hi, Tua. I'd like to ask you about being a left-handed quarterback. It's unbelievably rare in this league now. I'm wondering if you have some thoughts on why it's so rare. And in doing research, I found that there have been some notable left-handed quarterbacks who coaches were so reluctant to coach them that they may have asked them to change positions or what have you. And I know you're a right-hander. I don't know if anyone ever asked you, hey, why don't you just start throwing right-handed? But can you just describe your progression as you came up as a lefty?
Yeah, I do everything right. I eat with my right, swing the bat with my right, golf with my right, do all of that. But anything that has to do with shooting, throwing, it's left. And I think lefties are so rare in football because all of them are in baseball. And so I think that's why it's so rare. It's also probably a lot difficult as probably an OC and probably a little difficult for the receivers as well because the ball spins a different way. But luckily I'm surrounded by professionals that that can adjust pretty quick to the ball.
When you think about that whole lefty thing with Tua, I have the same issue. I right left, but I do things righty. I'll bat righty, I'll throw righty, I'll shoot lefty, I'll eat lefty. It's weird. Now I'm not ambidextrous. So I write lefty, but I can't write righty. All right. I throw righty, but I can't throw lefty.
Whatever you do right, it can't be done left.
Nope.
Whatever you do left, you can't do it right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not ambidextrous. So it's a weird thing. And it's interesting how he does everything righty except anything that has to do with like shooting or throwing. That's all lefty. How weird is that, right? But I know it's weird because I'm a weirdo too in a way and I have no idea how I ended up that way. It's just the way my world developed, I guess. I can't explain it at all. In fact, although I did learn something, Bill. I did learn something.
What's that?
I took guitar lessons once back in high school for a short time. I've played Guitar Hero. My daughter bought a guitar because she was going to start learning some guitar. She really didn't have much time. So I've grabbed the guitar with the amp and I've fiddled with it. And I realized this entire time that I've been playing guitar opposite of what I normally should be playing guitar.
So which are you?
I'm
are
a
you
lefty on guitar.
So you're a Jimi Hendrix wannabe? Is that what you're telling us?
Well,
you're not a left-handed genius, but you aspire to be.
Don't aspire to. I can't aspire to be any of those guys ever. But just it's just weird. So now
you could pick up Jimi Hendrix guitar, and it would feel natural.
Down the line, at some point in the next year or two, I am going to buy a left-handed guitar, okay, and a decent amp too, so I could drive my wife effing crazy. And I'm going to exactly, sir. That's what I'm going to be doing. Just fiddling around, but I'm going to do it lefty now because that's what that's how I'm supposed to play. Because I ended up like grabbing a lefty guitar and I go, wow, this feels so much more natural for me.
In the house, you left somebody out. You left a few out. The dogs. You're going to drive the dogs crazy too.
Yeah, the dogs.
You don't. Yeah, okay.
That's
they could just bark.
I have 4 dogs at the house. You know what
I bark in and like.
You know what I call that? I call it revenge for all the barking they do. Then I'm just gonna rock out. When you got 3 small dogs, oh my lord, those small dogs bark like oh man, they are alarms, bro. You like walk in front of my house by the sidewalk, they're already barking. You could forget it. Somebody comes to deliver. The second they get out of their truck to deliver, they're going right to the door. I mean, the radar sense that they have. And you know what's the amazing part about dogs is that if I pull up or my wife pulls up, they don't make a bit of noise. They know exactly who it is approaching the door. How weird is that? They know the sound of the car. They know the person. Maybe they have their smell already. I don't know what the hell it is, but they won't bark for any of us coming to the door. Anyone else, Bill comes, forget about it. They're going crazy. Nuts.
Except for Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie's,
Except for Ollie.
Ollie's a lover, man. He likes to relax. He's a sweet little dog, man. He's the sweetest little thing in the world. So yeah, he's more of a hanger, you know. He likes to chill. Everybody else gets all wound up.
That's kind of cool, man. You would pick up Jimmy's guitar and it would just be natural for you.
Yeah, except of course I would never play like Jimmy, but I'm just saying, it felt natural. So all this time, all this Guitar Hero stuff, my daughter got to like expert, and I was like sucked,
wallowing in the back.
Yeah, whatever the level of suck is, that was the level I was at Guitar Hero, and I figured it out. I was playing it the wrong way the entire time. I was playing righty, and I'm not a righty. I'm a lefty playing guitar.
The Guitar Hero was telling you to stay in the garage by yourself and play?
Yeah, basically. So I can't wait. I will get, I don't know, and I'm going to find like some kind of a decent lefty guitar just to have some fun with it. You know, spend a couple $100 on a really decent guitar. Now, I'm not going to spend thousands. I'm not going to go buy a Les Paul or something and just go, you know.
We want to hear you do some Crosstown Traffic and Voodoo Child.
Yes, definitely. I could play Smoke on the Water. I still think I remember the notes for Smoke on the Water.
Yeah, but Jake and 2.5 Men, remember that was the one that he always played that bothered them.
Yeah. Uber Beaner goes, damn, that's a sexy car there. Yeah, no, these Supras are freaking awesome. And if you could get in one and drive it, oh man, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Let's see what else did we finished the press conference, right?
Yes, that was the end of Mr. Tua.
All right. Matthew says, I hear what you're saying about the check down to Laird, but Miami was up 24, so stopping the clock wouldn't be the objective. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about the accuracy. I'm talking about the decision there. I like it. I like what he did there. I just want to see him do those kind of things. Big O, I thought Fitz should have been pulled in the third quarter of the Jets game. I love Fitz, but I thought it was overdue to get the kid in there. Hey, man. Miami kid, Jay, you're more than entitled to think that. Lots of people think like you. They wanted to get him in there, too. And they didn't like some of the struggles because there were a couple of irresponsible interceptions by Fitz. So I'm not surprised a lot of people like you wanted, Tua to get in there. I'm on the record. You all know I really wanted it to be a little bit later in the year and give him some time more to heal and all of that. But I'm telling you, that kid must be tearing it up.
I've heard this talked about, and, they're probably right on. The fact that we are fighting for a playoff spot, legitimately, okay?
Wow.
And Tua being named the starting quarterback now, he has way more pressure than Burrow or Herbert has, because they're just about doing the job and this, and they're not like being asked to win and get us in the playoffs.
Okay.
Tua has some pressure here, bro.
Yeah.
We're 3-3, a game behind Buffalo with a legit shot at possibly winning our division, let alone, we're looking like every bit of a wild card team, considering it's expanded to 7. So right now, he has more pressure than the other two guys, without a doubt.
Tremolio, I am going to send you my email there. I just put it on the chat board because Tremolio says, I'll teach you virtually a moderately learnable solo and song that you can pick up quickly. Say Goodbye to Romance by Ozzy. That's a great song. That is a fantastic song. And I'm remembering the solo. It's actually a pretty cool solo. That's some crazy stuff if you're going to teach me that. He says, "Oh, when you're ready to buy your guitar and amp, let me know. I'll recommend someone honest in Miami. Stay away from big box music stores. I got some good mom and pop shops for you." Well, I posted my email there. Please send me the mom and pop stores so I can maybe cruise by, go check it out, go look at the guitars, and then I'll tell you, hey, I'm ready. I'm gonna buy this one, and give us the hookup. All right. So please send me the info so I can check out which mom and pop store you're talking about, and I can cruise by. But no, serious. I want to get a left-handed guitar just for the hell of it, to have some fun, and I want to get a decent amp. I'm not going to get like a little cheesy-ass amp. I want to get half a stack or something.
Are you getting a Marshall stack,
half a Marshall stack? Yeah, I think a half Marshall stack would be not bad. Piss the hell out of my wife off, but I don't care. Piss my neighbors off, but
want
I
to
don't
really
care.
piss them off, man? Go for the full stack, bro.
No. Well, no, I just get the half, so when I'm jamming and I'm feeling comfortable and better, then I add the other half.
Oh, you're gonna bump
See?
it up.
There you go.
Stack one on top of the other, make that
That's
little
it.
concert wall.
That's it.
For the guy on the right, on the
That's
left,
it.
playing the guitar.
That's it. Or that could be just for show and go, because Tremolio might know more than me. He says, dude, don't get that. Just get this amp. And he tells me to go get a PV or something that's cheaper and just as good or something. I have no idea. Maybe it's a JBL or something. Although I will say this, I love JBL speakers. I've always had great experiences with JBL speakers all throughout my life. Anytime I bought a JBL speaker for whatever it is, I've always had good experiences with it. Now, I have no idea if it's any good for guitar amps or anything like that, but we'll do it. I definitely want to do that, Tremolio. So if you can help me out with that, that would be great. John says, I have a small dog and live in an apartment complex. My dog barks at people 2 buildings over. I have the weekends off, and she barks at 5 a.m. Yep, you got to love it. Hey, but you know what the best part about it is? That if anybody ever wants to try to break into your house, boy, you're going to find out about it way ahead of time. It's really hard to sneak up on you when you've got 4 dogs in the house. Okay? And my big girl, oh, man, you come close to the door, and she's tearing up the inside of my door to get to you. Pretty much. Okay? Deep
Yes,
Purple,
I can attest to that, yes.
Mike says, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water is the only song I can play on guitar. Yeah, well, that's the one we all learned. I remember that. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, right on the top chords. Yeah, I got you.
That and Chopsticks on the piano, right? Those 2 are the ones that...
I never learned anything on the piano, so you
not even Chopsticks? Come on,
I didn't
man.
learn anything.
Chopsticks.
No, I didn't learn anything on the piano. Ever. That's not... I never did it, bro.
Smoke on the Water, guitar-wise, is like Chopsticks on the piano.
Okay.
Like,
I believe you.
I could do this. Hey!
I believe you. I never did the piano thing.
I mean, Tom Hanks was even able to jump it in the movie Big, and do this thing.
My wife actually played piano for several years when she was young, and she got bored out of it because obviously, see, the problem with these parents is they make kids learn, and then you're just learning Tchaikovsky or Bach or some crap, and you're like, come on, man, teach them Elton John, and teach them something that like rock related or pop related, so they can have some fun. The music that they play. Problem is they make them learn boring songs that kids want no part of.
Another problem is those instructors have a tendency to be anal and very structured, you know what I mean? And don't want, stay within this realm,
Right. I'm with you. I understand. 786-322-1105. Chan Gailey addressed the media yesterday. Let's hear from on Tuesday, I'm sorry. And he obviously was asked many questions about Tua and the controversy and everything else that goes on with Tua. Let's hear from Chan Gailey as he addressed the media, and let's break down his comments on an enormous week where Miami's young quarterback will get his first start up against the Rams at 1 o'clock on Sunday Here is Chan Gailey. Go ahead.
Good morning, Chan. I'm sure you're going to get a ton of Tua questions, so I want to get in one first about the previous quarterback, Ryan. Obviously, you guys are as close as you can be. What are your emotions now knowing the news that you've had to help deliver? And B, how is Fitz handling it?
Well, you need to talk to Fitz to talk about that, to get that answered. He's the best one to do that. And yeah, I'm close with Fitz, but guess what? I like Tua. I like Tua a lot. And I think he's got a great future. So I'm excited for him. You know, we do what's best for the football team all the time. That's what we try to do. And so that's where we are with this thing right now.
And that's where Chan Gailey kind of squashes this whole thing, because there's this misconception out there that he loves them so much that he's also bothered by this decision. And I keep telling everybody that if they made this decision after winning 2 in a row, 3 out of 4, and the quarterback really isn't a problem, because nobody can say Fitz was a problem.
They were smoking teams, man.
Yeah, he had a couple of bad mistakes, but he wasn't a problem in costing them games or anything like that. So if you're making this change, it tells me that they cannot stop the giant boulder that's going downhill, and everybody sees it. I'm telling you, it's going on in practice, where Flo looks at Chan Gailey looks at Flo, and they're like, What the F? Did you see that throw? Well, it's one of those things. I'm telling you. It's the coaches on the sidelines. They see a great throw, and then they didn't look really quickly at who was the quarterback, and they turn to the other guys. Yo, was that number 1? Yeah, that was him again. That's what's going on. And so when you hear Chan goes, hey, listen, I like Tua a lot, and he's got a bright future. He followed up with an emphatic like, yo, yeah, I got a great relationship with Fitz, but don't get me wrong, dude. I'm a coach. I need to win, and I think we're improving our offense. That's what I think they think in that building.
Would you almost say like Tua is forcing their hand with how he's performing? That we don't have a choice, man. We got to get this kid
100%
before players start getting, because you've said players see when other players are outperforming, and it's like, why in the hell is this guy not playing for us?
So instead of people thinking that there would be a revolt or anything like that, it's the opposite. It's exactly what you're saying, that it gets to a point like, well, dude, why aren't we playing the kid? He's better. And that's what's going on. And so they're playing the kid. Go ahead.
Armando?
Chan, so everyone knows that the starting quarterback gets the vast majority of reps in practice with the first team. What was there a point before he was named starter that Tua cut into that number, got more reps than normal as the backup, and when was that? If you could be so
No, we gave him the same number of reps most every week.
Joe?
Good morning, Channing. Chan, good to see you. Is it Channing on the birth certificate?
It is not.
All right, Chan.
Chandler. It's Chandler.
My apologies, Chan.
I've been called worse.
What are some of the benefits of having RPO available as an option as a play, and how does that align with Tua's strengths, the quick passing game elements?
Well, he did a decent amount of that in college, and there's different types of RPOs. There's pre-snap RPOs, there's post-snap RPOs, and we use some of both, but mostly pre-snap RPOs is what we have done. And what I remember him doing in college was he was good at reading and seeing that. And as time goes on, we can adjust and maybe use a few more of those to fit into what he has done in the past.
Safid?
Good morning, Coach. How are you? Obviously, coaching Fitzpatrick again was a big reason why you joined the team here. If the organization decided that maybe trading away Ryan Fitzpatrick was a move they wanted to make at the trade deadline, how would you kind of take that in, and how do you think he would probably respond to that?
Look, I can't speculate on that. I have no idea. I like him. I love having him here. I'd hate to see him go, but somebody would step in. I mean, that's the way this business is. We do what we think is best for the football team in every decision, whether it's who's here, who's not here, who's playing, who's not playing, who's backing up, who's a practice squad guy, who's not a practice squad guy. You make the decisions you feel like are best for the football team all the time. That's what we do.
And that's what they have to do, because if they don't do that, they lose the locker room. Okay? And I understand why Safid had to ask that, because it's something that's out there. But again, there's this idea like Chan can't live without him or something. And it couldn't be further from the truth. They get along great, and he's a fan of his and all that. But Chan's about winning. This is a cold business, dude.
Or that the only reason that Chan came was because we had Fitzpatrick in place, right?
Please.
I mean, yeah.
How are you going to come to somewhere where you have a journeyman quarterback that is not the future? And that's what Fitz is. He's not the future. He's just a stopgap guy. And Chan knew that that stopgap was going to end at some point this year. Okay? If it wasn't now, it was 3 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now, they were going to make a quarterback change. They made it now because they feel he's legitimately better right now. And they feel like he's ready to carry the team and do his part. And I think they feel like he's better than Fitz right now when he takes the field. They feel like they're going to have a better offense. Think about this, folks. Chan Gailey doesn't have a damn thing to worry about in his career. He doesn't have to be a yes man with anybody. He can say what he wants, when he wants, and what's on his mind, and he's not going to lose his job for that. So Chan Gailey is not taking a job here with the Dolphins on a requirement that Fitzpatrick has to be in place. He's too smart. He knows that he's got to win, and if he wants to win and he wants this job maybe to last another year or two, I know he's not here long term, but if you think that Flo didn't ask him what his opinion was, and of course he went with this. Go ahead.
Hello, Chan. I wanted to ask you about the left-handed side of things. When you go to a left-handed quarterback, which is, as you know, very rare these days in the NFL, what changes for you as an offensive coordinator, and what changes have you noticed perhaps for a defense trying to contain a lefty at quarterback?
I would think that if somebody, the number one thing I would think about, that if somebody's trying to make a right-handed quarterback scramble, they would want him to scramble to the left. They probably have to change that thought process to make a left-handed quarterback scramble to his right. That would be one of the first things I would think about. And for us, we practice things both left and right, so it doesn't change a lot for us. If we've had a bootleg that's been to the right for Fitz, then it's been on Tua's wristband every week that he runs it to the left. So we've practiced it all both ways, so nothing really changes for us.
Omar?
Chan, I wanted to ask you about Tua's Tuesday meetings. I don't know, with Flores is what he said, but I don't know if you're also involved in that. when you do have meetings with Tua and go over film, what are those conversations like, and what are you watching? Are you watching games of Fitz playing or Tua in practice?
Well, most of the time you're watching the team we're playing that week. We're talking about how we're going to defeat them. Right now, we're only talking about the Rams. That's all we're talking about. We're not talking about anything else. We're trying to get ready to defeat them and defeat what they do and take advantage of our personnel against them and see how we match up. Those are the things that we're working on, and that's all we work on.
Travis?
Hey, Coach, on that topic of the Rams, we saw Aaron Donald on TV last night doing what he does every single week. What's the best way to get that guy blocked, and how does he kind of adjust your offensive game plan?
Well, somebody made a statement. A lot of people want to know where a safety is or where a linebacker is. You want to know where he is. Is he lining up on the left or the right? Is he lining up on the tackle or on the guard? You want to know where he is, and you want to scheme some things to help out whoever's got him. At the same time, you can't change everything you're doing. You got to depend on our good players playing well against him too. And we got to depend on that a little bit.
Steve?
Shan, I know coaches try to anticipate every possible situation. I'm wondering, over the course of your career, how much time you have spent on not scoring when the other team is trying to let you score, and how much that has even been on your radar?
We've talked about it. It's not like it's something that you consider on a daily basis, but we've talked about it, and we try to educate our players into the situation that's at hand, and then at
Obviously,
the same time,
talking
you can negate
Falcons.
that if you want to and just take a knee.
All right, got time for one more. We'll go to Joe.
Yes, kind of a basic. How do you think Tua will do?
You're cutting out on me. I can't hear you.
How do you think Tua will do?
Love this.
How do I think he'll do? Did you ask that? Is that what you asked? Can y'all hear him? Can anybody else not hear him?
Did he really ask how
Yeah,
he'll
keep it
do?
better, Coach.
How do you think he'll do?
I think he'll play great. I mean, that's what you anticipate. You anticipate him going out there and seeing the defense and knowing where to throw the football and making good throws and making good decisions in the run game as far as getting us where we're supposed to get blocking wise. I expect him to play excellent. But that's the way I feel about every week going into every game. You think you're going to play great. You're disappointed when you don't score every time.
Listen, that's Joe Shad from the Palm Beach Post asking that one. There was no answer he was going to get except that. I mean, do you expect a coach? How do you think he'll play? Well,
He's going to fumble every snap.
Yeah.
We're going to have a problem with the simple things.
You know, Joe, he's a rookie quarterback. He'll probably make a lot of mistakes, even a pick six. But, you know, those are part of the growing pains, and those are just things we're going to have to live with. But, you know, I really expect him to struggle a lot. Oh, dude, they're going to tell you they expect every player and any player to play great.
The center quarterback exchange is going to be a problem right off the bat.
Yeah,
Come on.
Even if they're putting my sorry ass out there on the field, they'll tell you they think he's going to play great. Obviously, I will fool you because it's not going to happen. But it's just, I thought that was a funny question.
Are you throwing righty or lefty? You could fool us. Okay?
Well, that was a funny question. I love that. Jay says, Orlando, when you're ready to look up Joe Bonamassa guitar lessons on YouTube. Joe Bonamassa, bro, come on. How the hell am I going to keep up with Joe Bonamassa's lessons? All right, well, in this one, we want you to do this. Yeah, sure. Okay. Sure, Joe. Sure. Joe would confuse the hell out of me. Rosendo says, good afternoon, everybody. Genius journalist with clown questions. Oh, I like this one. Jeffrey Vincent says, I feel like I'm in the twilight zone because Big O is talking positive about the Dolphins. If Big O believes in Tua, So do I. Big O has been more right than wrong. I love you, Jeff. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it because you know what I love about that statement is that at least you've given me the credit that even when I slammed the Dolphins for 20 years about so many things, I was right about it 98% of the time. I was rarely wrong about anything the Dolphins did negatively for the last 20 years, and Lord knows there's a bunch of it. But like I've said before, it's hard for me to be negative when I'm the guy that wanted Chris Grier. I'm the only guy in the country that called it and said, you know, make the changes and put Chris Grier in place. And sure enough, that's what they did. And so I can't sit here and complain. It's like Safedin, who I love, great guy, does an excellent job of covering the Dolphins. When he wrote that article, well, you know, the Dolphins, instead of trading for Rosen, they could have had DK Metcalf. I couldn't disagree with an article more. Because I can't be a hypocrite and tell you, hey, I want a football team that is constantly going after a quarterback every year. Why do I say that? Because you're going to whiff on that quarterback 80% of the time, right? So I just want you to keep taking one every year because eventually you'll land one. Now, if you never draft one and if you're never constantly going after it, then of course you're never going to find it. And that was the problem with the Dolphins, that since Marino retired, they didn't do enough in going after quarterbacks every year. Meanwhile, here's a front office that in 2 off seasons, 2 quarterbacks. I can't ask for more than that. I can't tell you I want somebody to go out after quarterbacks, and then once they go after quarterbacks, because conveniently one of the picks fails, I'm supposed to now go look at all the players that went after him and say, well, you could have had this guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. No, that's a bunch of crap. Can't do that. Can't do it. Won't do it. They don't deserve that. So you missed on Rosen, big deal. But if you hit on Tua, I'm good. So this front office is hitting on offensive linemen, hitting on other draft picks, and they hit on quarterbacks 50% of the time. That's enormous. I'm taking it. I'm good. So you mean to tell me that if Tua gets old on you down the line, I can count on you on finding a quarterback in the next 2 drafts? Let's go. Let's bring it on. That's what I'm talking about.
Did Chan Gailey sound like Chan Gailey sound like Tom Landry back in the day talking LT? Pre-snap, you better know where Donald, where he's at and account for him.
Yes.
That sounded just like Tom Landry talking LT.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Know where Bruce Smith is. Yeah, same thing. I got you.
That guy that can blow up your play from snap, you better know where he's at.
Chan Gailey understands the NFL is also a business and these things happen. Hell, he has been fired multiple times too. I love the way he handled the Tua questions. Yeah, I've been a fan of the Gailey move from day one. All these people are like, oh, he's too old and he's been out of football a couple of years. It's like, have you watched this man and all the offenses he's run? He's more than capable of doing it at this level, and he's proven that.
I think that's the one thing I love more about it than anything else. He's not one-dimensional. This guy can run multiple different offenses. So basically, the talent that you have, he could adjust to it and make it work.
Yes. Yes, he can. Folks, you can get the 2021 Corolla LE, $149 a month. You can lease it for 36 months. The 2020 Corolla Hatchback SE, $269 a month. The Camry LE, 2020 Camry LE, $205 a month for 36 months. The RAV4, it is super, super nice. 4-wheel drive, $289 a month for 36 months. And, of course, the Toyota Highlander, all-wheel drive, $379 a month, and you can get that for 36 months. Come on down, by the way, to 1841 North State Road 7. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. And people like Herbie Lopez and company will take care of you. And remember, when you come on out here, if you are trading in a car, you can get an extra $1,000 on that trade-in if you mention me right here at Toyota of Hollywood.
Yeah, just for the record, that was an hour and 4-minute segment.
Not too short.
Hey, it's
Big O, for all of your CBD, THC, or hookah needs, you got to get on down to VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. Yes, they have got legal THC. You've got to check it out. And they've got, of course, when it comes to CBD, flower, tinctures, edibles, for all kinds of reasons, whether it's pain, stress, anxiety, you name it. And don't forget, when you mention my name, you'll get 20% off. Tell the boys out there that I told you to get on down to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road, and call them 954-613-3367. Legal THC, CBD, all of your hookah needs. You go to VSS West Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to peer, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction. Listen, I've been telling you about Eric for a long time now. Custom home builder for additions, home remodeling. We're not talking about a handyman. Maybe you want to redo that man cave. We're not going to a lot of live sporting events. So you want to improve that experience in your man cave? Call them 305-433-4843. Tell them that Big O sent you, and go to the Instagram page. You can see the before and after there. You'll be impressed. EJD_construction. Call them 305-433-4843 or go to the website ejdconstruction.com.
America's premium sports sedan is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. TLX $259 a month, $259 at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
All righty, we back. Love it. GP Trap says, haha, righty or lefty. Thought the same thing, Bill. There you go. Julius 305, bro, I just didn't like the comment said about Colombians from Medellin. It was, I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right. You guys are getting into some other stuff there that is in sports. I went through enough politics in the dead time for COVID that
you don't have to touch politics for like another decade, maybe.
I just can't wait for November 3rd to be just come and gone, bro. Just make it happen already. Move on, and let's just.
Went and voted the other night, by the way.
Good for you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Good for you.
Everybody in the family, everybody that's
it's gonna be a
18
record.
and above. Yep.
gonna be a
Everybody
record.
got in,
gonna
got
be-
their votes in.
It's going to be a monster record of voters this year. No doubt about that. And thank you all out there, whoever's following us on our new venture at Onside Radio. It is your local sports station now. I mean, Intercom is garbage. They've only got a couple of shows left. The company's broke. They're not going to invest anything. They don't take your phone calls. They don't take your texts. They're not really connected to the community anymore. They're all run from corporate. I think Intercom's in Chicago or something like that. So we are the new local station, and we are the sports station now that provides you more local talk than anybody else. We got 12 straight hours. So if you can, we have the Onside Zone every day. This show, you remember how we started off at 11 a.m.? That's when my show is at Onside Radio every day, 11 to 1 p.m. It's a 2-hour show. So please visit us there at onsideradio.com. You can go to the website. You hit the Listen Live button. The website was up just a couple of days ago, and it looks fantastic. Great work by our people doing the web. So really, really happy with the product that I'm watching there on the website. So if you can, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Onside Radio, and go to the website onsideradio.com. Alex Dano is on from 1 to 5. Manny Navarro on from 6 to 8. Ethan Skolnick from 10 to 11. The Morning City Live guys. The Morning Juice with Lemon City Live from 8 to 10. Kaylin Kyle, if you're a soccer fan, she does a great soccer show between 5 and 6. A lot of great guests. She is, let's just say she's very energetic on the air. And she gets pretty emotional on the air, too, where she'll drop a word or two that we really don't want her to say, but she says it sometimes. The good thing is we don't have to deal with the FCC, so it's a beautiful thing. So please catch Onside Radio. If you're looking for an all-sports station, and we're all sports, okay? Because they can't talk soccer at 560 or 790 because they wouldn't know soccer if it hit them across the head. So we talk football, we talk plenty of heat, and obviously we also include all the other sports because that's why you really can't be considered a sports station when you're really limited. You know what I mean? So there you go. So we're giving you plenty of local talk. So if you can, please follow us there at Onside Radio. Mike No-Go Zone says, hello, Big O and everybody. Just came back from Seattle, and I'm still alive. Nice job by you, sir. We got to get you on so we can talk about your last couple of trips now. So we got plenty of material with you, Mike. We got to get you on to talk a little bit about that. Let's see. Big O, when I said Medellin in the house, you say, oh, Willie, stay safe and don't kill your judges. Boo. What the F was that the other? Oh, bro, haven't they had that issue over there that they were killing judges? But is that not a fact? Are you that? Willie, you're not that sensitive, right? Are you really that sensitive, dude? Come on, man.
The conversation originated because of the own goal. And
Right.
then
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about the
Escobar.
own goal that occurred in the World Cup back in the day.
Right.
And what transpired. And
come on, bro. Don't get so.
That's yeah.
Don't get so personal, bro. Relax, okay? Have a sense of humor about things, and it's reality, okay? It's not like I'm lying or making anything up. All right, come on, man.
We even joked that you leaving and doing your little, setting the team up to score was the reason. It wasn't the guy that gave up the own goal. It was your fault.
That's right.
For leaving the crowd.
That's right.
And going to the bathroom.
That's
that
right.
You caused the own goal. It was you, not
right.
him.
That's
And
right.
We even joked about that. Come on, man.
We joke about everything, bro. We joke about Justin Turner being a complete moron. We joke about anything and everything in life.
That whole
It is
team.
what it is.
That whole team now is on quarantine supposedly for 2 weeks.
Yes.
They're suggesting
Yeah.
the whole team, everybody.
And I doubt any of them
Nah,
will be doing it.
they're going to be out there celebrating.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, man, it's something that you make fun of different things that go on in different parts of the world or our country, somebody else's country. It is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? What do you want me to tell you?
You've made a lot of fun, and there is ample with Dumb Santis, with Trumpy. There's plenty. Biden.
I make fun of everything.
You've made fun of everybody.
I'm an equal
Equally.
opportunity basher. Equal opportunity, Willie. So, come on, man. He goes, this ain't 93 anymore. I know that, brother, but it's what happens. You know what I mean? It's like talking about, riots in Portland. It's like talking about people in Los Angeles don't know how to celebrate a championship without destroying their city. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. It's idiots in Philadelphia. We make fun of everything, bro. It doesn't matter if it happened in 93 or in 2003 or in 2020. If it's in your history, we will make fun of it. That's all. What do you want me to do?
Speaking of celebration in L.A., did you see the guy that did a Jean-Pierre Paul? Jason
Pierre-Paul?
Yeah,
What about
when he
him?
blew his hand off.
Oh, yeah. Well,
did you see that guy?
JPP?
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody that did it like JPP.
Somebody, yes, celebrating
And by
the
way,
Dodgers.
We made fun of JPP's stupidity getting his fingers blown off with fireworks.
That's
Just
true.
That's the way it is. What do you want me to do, bro? Those are realities that happen, and we make fun of it.
Laker fan celebrating with fireworks.
So stop killing your judges there in Colombia.
Literally, his hand, the same, man. Blew his hand off. It's a graphic. It's TMZ. Go check it out. The video. It's just a bloody mess, man.
You know what the mess? Did you see Chris Jericho donated $2,000 to that guy that was wrestling? Did you
see
watch
his?
it? You saw the video?
Oh man!
The guy jumps off the ropes, and he didn't jump off the top of the rope or anything. It was like the first rope or something, and he jumps off of it to land on the thing, and both his knees invert and break. Ugh, like you cringe when you see it. Leon Fresco says, who will be Tua's favorite receiver prediction on a super chat? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Leon. So, Leon, are you asking me who's going to be his favorite receiver in week 1 or for the remainder of the season? Okay? That's what I need to know. Who is going to be his favorite receiver? Not week 1. What I mean is this week against the Rams, or who's going to be his favorite receiver for the remainder of the season? I need to know which one because I have a different answer for each. Okay?
You know who a quarterback's best friend is?
Oh, tight ends or
Tight
running
end,
backs.
right in the free, man.
Yeah. So you got to give me that, Leon. Week 1, Mike Gesicki. For the remainder of the season, it'll be Isaiah Ford.
Wow.
Okay.
You're not going with one of the two big boys.
No, I'm going to go with Isaiah Ford.
If they were fully healthy, would your opinion be different?
No,
'Cause we
next
know
year.
both-
Next year
Next
will be
year?
a different opinion.
Okay.
As he gets acclimated, I think he will find the slot receiver a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with Preston and Devontae both dealing with injuries and not being full speed. I mean, they're close, but they're not full board.
No, not yet. So I'll go Gesicki this week, and then Ford for the remainder of the year. He'll be the guy that he looks to a lot to help move the chains. Because Tua is the guy that's going to throw the deep ball, but he's also going to beat you with the 4-yard pass, the 7-yard pass. I think he's going to show incredible patience in that sense. So there you go.
Stat that I heard that was kind of interesting, they were talking about the fact that the average of Fitzpatrick's release is just under 3 seconds. I forget what it was, but it's like 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, somewhere around there. That is the average release time from snap for him. So it's like quick, get it out.
It makes a lot of sense. We got Devontae Parker, but Preston might outshine Devontae because he runs a mean slant. I'll pick Isaiah Ford as a wild card. Matthew Walker went with me. Dolphin Leroy says, I'm predicting Preston Williams. Molina Matthew, I was thinking that. Let's see. Raging Dolphin Maniac likes Gesicki. Ian from Brooklyn likes Gesicki. And Willie Molina says, effing around, Gaskin might blow up. And Dolphin Leroy says, wow, I wouldn't be mad, though. Those two players are sure-handed. Yeah, that doesn't mean that the other guys aren't going to get the ball. I think he'll spread it around because I think Tua's really, really smart. But if you want me to take a crazy-ass guess at something that I really don't know what's going to happen, I'll say Gesicki this week and Ford for the rest of the season. I love the way that Isaiah Ford has developed for this team. It's been a really, really nice climb to see him do that from being the draft pick, man. It's good stuff, as always. Do want to remind you about VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Go see Jose and all the great people out there. Jason, Alex, Tommy. I don't know if Sasha left because I haven't seen Sasha. She's usually in the evenings or weekends, but Sasha was there. Now, I forgot, what was the new young lady that was there? Now? She probably took over from Sasha.
Something Deuce? Dulce? What was it?
I don't know. I don't remember now. I don't remember.
I know Antoine is one of the new guys there.
Antoine's new there. That's right. Good stuff. Good people there at VSS West Pines. Really, really educated. So if you're looking for CBD, little THC, they got it there, man. The hookah pipes, the glass pipes, the rollers, the trays, all kinds of incense, everything you need for e-juice.
Darth Vader, a stormtrooper.
Yeah, everything you need for the hookahs, too. They've got CBD for hookah. I'm telling you, and buy your own hookah pipe instead of, the hookah bars. That's kind of dangerous now. So a lot of people are saving money by buying it there. So go see them at 12397 Pembroke Road. It's at vsswestpines.com and call them 954-613-3367 for VSS West Pines. Love that place. Great place out there. Josh is in the house saying, what's up? Ray says, wide receiver Callaway soon, right? 8 weeks after suspension. 8 games. 8 games. So he won't be playing till week 10. Okay? Because you got 8 games, you got the bye week, and then 10. So it'll be week 10 when he plays, and he'll play the final games of the season there. So, yeah, that's what it is. He misses 8 games plus the bye week. Remember, they haven't played 8 games yet. They're 3-3. So he's only missed 6 games. So they will have the bye week now in week 7. They will play their 7th game in week 8 and their 8th game in week 9. There he is, 10. So week 10 is where Antonio Callaway will make his debut with the Miami Dolphins. And really, I got to tell you, add a nice dimension to this team. I just hope the kid finally screwed his head on right. Now, he's been out of football for a little bit, so that was taken away from him, and maybe that humbled him, and maybe that brought him to the point that he says, you know what, I can't act like an idiot anymore. I've got to grow up and be a man. And hopefully that's the case for Antonio Callaway. Because if it isn't, Flo's not going to deal with it. But listen, the one thing I want you guys to do with Antonio Callaway is don't make him the savior. Don't expect much from him at all. He has failed everybody so far. So wait till he actually comes through. Don't invest your emotions. Don't count on him. Because if you do that, many have been disappointed. And I'm not saying that he's going to disappoint. I don't want to do that to the kid. Because maybe the kid is legitimately figured it out and has turned his life around. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm hoping that that's the case for him. But that's why I would tell you that while you anticipate it, don't expect anything. Expect very little, in fact. That might be the better way to go with Antonio Callaway, is to expect as least as possible. That way, whatever he does, it'll be a nice surprise. Josh says, don't forget to set your lineup. Oh, my team sucks. Callaway could be a huge factor. This team needs a wide receiver that can create quick separation without dying from a hit. Jakeem Grant. Again, don't put the expectations. Let him prove it to you that he has come back and he's ready to play and he's ready to contribute and he's ready to be a professional every single day. Let him do that first, and then you'll be all right. Dodgers are canceling or postponing their championship parade due to the pandemic. You got the Dodger players in quarantine. Crazy stuff. Music-wise, let me give you a little music notes here on the program, since we usually give you a little musica. First of all, let's start off with some of the birthdays today. Couple of birthdays today. First of all, 1946, Peter Green was born on this date. The singer-songwriter from the early version of Fleetwood Mac, was a member of John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Who wasn't? He's the guy that replaced Eric Clapton, actually. I mean, John Mayall brought in talent after talent with his Blues Breakers. He left Fleetwood Mac in 70. He passed away at the age of 73 in his sleep on July 26th of 2020. So we recently lost him. They had a tribute concert for him, too. Steve Luscombe was born on this day back in 1954. If you're asking where he's from, he is from Blancmange. Living on a ceiling, baby. Back in 1982 was a nice hit. Kevin Dubrow was born on this date, lead singer from Quiet Riot. Unfortunately, he passed away in his Las Vegas home at the age of 52 on November 25th of 2007. We just recently lost Frankie Banali, the other member, founding member from Quiet Riot. Roger O'Donnell was born on this day back in 1955. Who is he? Keyboardist with The Cure. Okay? He also worked with the Psychedelic Furs, the Thompson Twins, and Berlin. That's not bad, right? So you were good enough to be a keyboardist for Robert Smith and The Cure, for the Psychedelic Furs, for the Thompson Twins, and Berlin. 4 incredibly impactful alternative bands from the 80s. Pretty amazing stuff. Got a couple things. One, David Hasselhoff is making a metal song.
The Germans can't wait.
That's right.
Because he's huge over there.
He is everything and anything to the Germans. Yes. The Germans love him. They love David Hasselhoff. They love him to jam. So he announced that in early of 2019 that he was doing some heavy metal songs on his new album. They've been waiting patiently for David Hasselhoff to finally share his darker side. And the first taste is here with an intriguing teaser of a single called Through the Night. The Baywatch and Knight Rider legend has been working with Australian duo Q-Stack on the single, which, judging by the clip they've released, will hear the Hoff powerfully yelling through the night forever. However, before we get to hear the full thing, a Kickstarter has been launched to properly fund the cinematic video plus a making of the documentary. We made a metal song with David Hasselhoff called Through the Night. Now we need your support with finishing the epic music video and documentary. Head over to our Kickstarter campaign to become an important part of this project today. The project started in 2018. Many demos were made, many meetings were held, and what seemed like an impossible idea slowly turned into reality. David finally recorded the track with us in 2019 in Vienna, and we also shot a cinematic music video together. We financed the entire project by ourselves until now. To avoid giving up any creative freedom when it comes to the song and music video, the final mission, finishing the editing of the cinematic video that will accompany the song. With a limited budget and schedule, we had to shoot the entire video with David in just one day. That means we had to build a much smaller versions of the set we actually had in mind. To turn this dystopian retro sci-fi cyberpunk vision into reality, a massive post-production effort is now needed to extend the basic sets into cinematic, futuristic, and living worlds. So there you go. I can't play the cut because then they might go after us there and all that stuff, but go look for it. Through the Night with David Hasselhoff. I didn't think about that, bro. I think you've got some serious issues if you're actually listening to David Hasselhoff. That's why I've got to really question Germans and their taste in music. Because how they follow that guy, like I said earlier on Onside Radio, that's like listening to John Tesh music. Are you effing kidding me, dude? John Tesh? Really? Seriously? Is that what we're going to do? If you're an Eddie Van Halen fan, you may end up getting some new music. The question is, what I have is, who the hell's going to sing it to make it sound good, right? So Eddie Van Halen's studio archives includes an overwhelming amount of unreleased music. In the newly published Rolling Stones piece, quoting a 2008 interview with writer Brian Hyatt, Van Halen guitarist said he recorded tons of unreleased music, resulting in close to 1 million CDs, cassettes, boxes, and boxes, and boxes. The virtuoso wasn't planning to let that material, which reportedly spans classical to world music, collect dust forever. The stuff is going to come out, he said. Hopefully people will enjoy the many sides of me. I trip on myself. While Eddie Van Halen estimates of millions could be an exaggeration, the musician's 5150 home studio is well documented. Days after his death, following a lengthy cancer battle, Van Halen manager Irving Azoff noted that the late rocker's family members will scour the vaults for unheard of tracks. Wolf and brother Alex will go up to 5150, the studio in Ed's house. There's been a lot of recordings in that space over the decades. He added that it's too early to speculate about what might be discovered. I can't predict that for sure, that there will be anything new, but for sure, they're going to take a look at it. But again, the question is, well, Roth can't sing anymore, so you can't really use him. So are you going to use Hager? Is that what you're going to do? You know what I mean?
You know what I've always said, man?
What?
And this was the last time that I actually saw Halen with you up at Coral Sky. Why don't Van Halen have the contest like the way Journey found Pineda in the Philippines? Put it out there. Somebody that sounds like old classic David Lee Roth.
It's hard.
Put that guy up in front. But there's got to be, you know what I mean? Somebody that's been mimicking this, that can be like Pineda.
Right.
Let's face it, bro, if somebody can mimic Steve Perry.
Yeah, but everybody,
wow.
dude, NXS tried it. They couldn't find it. There's been bands like crazy that they've lost their singer.
That
Quiet Riot.
You need that sound.
Quiet Riot tried to get a Kevin DeBra, and they
yeah.
never could. You know what I'm saying? So it's you go see STP, and they can't find a Scott Whelan.
No, without Whelan, man, it's not.
It's not
we
the same.
saw it. We saw it with what's his name from Lincoln Park doing it.
Listen, outside of Pineda, I gotta say, the dude for Queensryche.
Yes.
He does a little bit that he sounds very Jeff Tate-ish.
Yeah, he can.
He's not at Jeff Tate's level because Jeff Tate is Jeff Tate.
Obviously.
But he does a pretty good job. Queen, they did it with Paul Rogers. Now they've done it with Adam Lambert. And both versions are good. Adam Lambert's I like a little bit better than Paul Rogers. But again, nobody's Freddie.
But they're not, and they're not trying to be Freddie,
Because you can't be Freddie, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't be Freddie, and nobody thought you could be actually Steve. So I
That's
just think
the thing. That's why Perry's such a
But they got
hard
lucky.
voice.
They got lucky.
Major lucky, bro.
Nobody else has been able to do it, dude.
No, you're talking a Juilliard guy.
No, but just think about all these other bands that I just mentioned, and there's several others.
And they have actually gone this route to try to get that guy.
Right.
To mimic.
Right.
Because that's all you want. Just mimic, man.
Right. But it's hard, man. On this date back in 71, Dwayne Allman, by the way, died after wiping out in his motorcycle outside of Macon, Georgia. The 24-year-old contributed memorable licks to recordings by Eric Clapton, Delaney and Bonnie, then revitalized Southern rock with his Allman Brothers Band. In 2012, on this date, Imagine Dragons released their huge hit, Radioactive. In 1983, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon on this date marked its 491st week on the Billboard 200, breaking Johnny Mathis's record for longest time on the charts. I had no idea that they broke Johnny Mathis's record. Did you know that? Like, you knew Pink Floyd was on forever?
Yes.
But they topped Johnny Mathis? When I read that today, I was like, huh?
Yeah, because you know who I always put in front of Johnny? They're kind of
Too Much, Too Little, Too Late was on the charts that long?
Bro, not King Cole.
Yeah?
If you're gonna talk Johnny there's a guy above him.
Yeah,
not
no.
King Cole, bro.
But Johnny Mathis is good too.
I'm not saying he's
No,
not.
don't crush Johnny there.
You know what I'm saying.
I know
though,
what you're saying. You're 1,000% right.
It's just, and it's those guys. You know what? Let me say this though. Remember that the number one selling single of all time is Bing Crosby.
Right.
What is it? I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Number one. So along it kind of falls in that line. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I got you. I am looking forward to this. This is a show that I can't wait to see. It's called No Cover. So a lot of you out there, you see these American Idols and all that stuff. So the judges now for No Cover, which will be a new show that they're going to find rock bands. And Alice Cooper, Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, Gavin Rossdale from Bush, and Tosin Abasi, and singer-songwriter Bishop Briggs, and frontman Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens will host alongside SiriusXM's Katie Babbs, while interview will be done with contestants by former MTV correspondent Matt Pinfield. No Cover, Alice Cooper says, I can't wait. To me, a band really isn't a band unless they are writing their own material. And if you know anything about me, you know that I have a very high standard for not only the songs, but the performance. I'm looking for the band who has it all. The one who can not only write and play it, but perform it and make me believe it. I'm beyond excited to join my friends, peers, and fellow rockers as a judge for Hit Parade's music competition TV show, No Cover. I hope that my passion and experience will help inspire and encourage these young bands to carve out their own path in the world. That's what Lizzie Hale said, the goddess. Launched by Hit Parade and created by Sumerian Records, Ash Avidson, and Golden Gods producer Josh Bernstein, the show will be filmed at the Troubadour in West Hollywood, California. The winners of No Cover first season will win a massive prize pack, including a 6-figure recording contract with Sumerian Records, booking agency representation from UTA, management from the Shelter Music Group, high-profile festival slots via Danny Wimmer Presents. That's Rockville. That's the Bourbon one. That's Danny Wimmer. The studio at Nightbird Recording Studios, new gear from Gibson, brand endorsements, licensing opportunities, and more. No Cover is looking for unsigned band and solo artists from all over the world to enter. That I can't wait for. That's super cool. That is going to be a show that I am going to be glued to watch. Tell me, doesn't that sound like a freaking cool show now?
The guy that does Rockville involved. Obviously, Hit Parade was one of the main. Okay.
Lizzie Hale, Alice Cooper, Gavin Rosdale.
Hold on. As soon as I heard Lizzie Hale, I knew that grabbed you.
Oh, for sure.
And just pulled you right in.
I love Lizzie.
Yeah.
I love Lizzie.
And actually.
And it has nothing to do with sex or her looks.
After seeing her, man. Wow.
It has nothing to do with that. I am in love with Lizzie's music, her passion, her voice, her talent. I'm a huge Hailstorm fan, man.
I was blown away when she did the intro, that long intro on the song when they had the green lasers.
Yeah.
I went because, obviously we're right there in the front row, shot it. I'm listening to that. Then I went and listened to the video on YouTube. Bro, the live version blew the video version away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, and that's how you could tell real artist, real craft, real quality.
Can't wait.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait, man. In fact, I might listen to a little Hailstorm on the way back to the stadium. One more thing on music here. Did you watch Saturday Night Live?
What, the one with Adele that outbeat the world? No, I did not, sir.
She looked fine as hell.
She always does, usually.
No, I mean, she's a pretty woman. She's always been a good-looking girl. Even when she was, thick, she was always a good-looking woman, but she lost, she had a divorce.
Yeah.
So you know what happens for men or women? It's not a sex thing.
Put your best foot forward.
It's men or women. You're back out on the market, so you got to go lose a whole bunch of weight. And if you saw Adele on Saturday, she looked phenomenal. Well, guess what? Sources close to the 32-year-old singer recently confirmed her relationship with 38-year-old rapper Skepta. I have no idea who this guy is. Maybe he's a British rapper or he's an American. I have no idea. I've never heard of Skepta in my life. So, if any of you out there want to give me a nugget on who the hell this guy is. But as fans know, Adele and Skepta have been friends for years. But according to additional sources, the pair now has been romantically linked for nearly a year. They share a deep connection over music. Not only that, but they also have a lot in common outside of their careers, including their shared home neighborhoods of Tottenham, London, and being parents to young children. Adele texts me at the time and keeps me in check. Skepta, who has a 2-year-old daughter, River, from a previous relationship, in a 2016 interview, told the Evening Standard, she speaks to me about how things are going. Adele filed for divorce from estranged husband Simon Konecki in September 2019 after 7 years together. The former couple shares a son, Angelo Adkins. Since their split, Adele has been a lot more social and opened up quite a bit. And the Hello singer told People last month the Sun reported that Adele is basically in a relationship with Skepta. A source later told the outlet Adele and Skepta have a close bond and there's definitely a special connection. So, that's why you lose the weight, you get the new side beef, and you're in. That's it. So Adele,
obviously,
so it's safe to say that Adele is back to rolling in the deep.
Here, they have been friends for a long time, right? Obviously, she lost the weight. Now she's caught that guy's eye, right? Does that?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. You were talking about the weight and how it works and this, and they've been friends for a long time and this, and all of a sudden she's lost weight. Now this guy's like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Hey, Adele. Hey.
There is one thing we need to do.
Rolling in the deep.
Because I know you want to go.
I gotta go.
I know you got to go.
I gotta go.
But do you want to do this?
What is that? I don't know.
That's Mr. Flo.
Oh, let's hear Flo. Flo.
Got a little over 12.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's hear Brian Flores' press conference today. Roll it.
Good morning, Flo. I want to start off with a couple injury updates, if I could. We haven't heard for about a few weeks about Austin Jackson. One, I wanted to see how far along he is in his progression, if he's getting close. And two, you had a handful of guys banged up going into the bye that we saw we're limited out there Wednesday. Is there anybody that's further away than the others, in terms of potentially playing Sunday?
Also, really to include Austin, everybody's, working to get back as quickly as they can. Obviously we can't, Austin's on injury reserve. So, but he's doing a good job in rehab and treatment and doing everything he can to get back. We did have some guys who were banged up last week. Some practiced more than others yesterday, as you saw in the injury report. So, but everyone's, got a shot to play, I would say, of that group. And we'll just see how the rest of the week goes. Today's practice, tomorrow's practice, all the way up until Sunday.
Safid?
Hey, good morning, Flo. See, you've been wearing the vote hat the last couple of days here when you've been meeting with us. Have you encouraged your players to vote early? I know Tuesday's an off day for everybody. I guess where's the team kind of gone in the stance of, making sure that the players, get out and go to vote? And also, I wanted to ask, are the players on the team, are all of them kind of registered? Have you guys kind of worked to help them do that?
I don't. Caleb Thornhill handles a lot of that, from that standpoint. I've had, conversation with some of the players about, things of that nature. Those conversations will, obviously stay private. I think there's, just from the conversations I've had, there's, a lot of guys either will or have voted, and I think that's important. I think that's something we should all do, and I'm supportive of that. And but those conversations, they've been had, and I know Caleb does a great job as far as, or has done, or a great job as far as helping guys get registered and giving them, information on the different, people in the election. I think a lot of people think it's just the presidential election, but there's a lot of other, things people were voting for. So just giving them that information and hopefully helping them make educated decisions.
I got to say, I do love the hat that he's been wearing every day. The only part I hate about that hat, if I could get that hat, I would. Because it says vote, right? And it has a V, and then the O is the logo of the team. Guess what logo it is? That's the only depressing part about the hat, that I would never wear it, because it has the new logo. If I could get that vote hat with the Dolphins logo, that would be cool. Outside of that, I'm not getting political. Go ahead, next.
Real quick, you were asked about the injuries. Gink, is he out of the protocol or is he still in it?
Yeah, he's out of the protocol.
Cam?
Hey, Flo, Fitz was really good at getting the ball out of his hands quickly. I think he was, 2.41 seconds time to throw. Are you able to gauge from practice where Tua is and his processing speed and helping the O-line out with getting the ball out quickly?
I think there's a lot that goes into whether or not you want the ball out quickly. It's really case by case, team by team, week by week. So, 1 week you may want to hold it a little bit longer, so you can get the ball downfield more. Some other weeks you might want to get it out quickly. I think, in general, you want a mix of all those things. So, Fitz did a good job of that. I think in practice, I think Tua's done a good job of that, but we'll see how it shows up in the game.
Will?
Hey, Flo. Tua mentioned yesterday that one of the reasons he's able to just concentrate on football, not get too caught up in all the narratives about his first start, is the guys in the locker room, the coaching staff. How have you, as a coach, and the guys in the locker room, been able to just allow him to focus on that, not get too caught up in the local and national storylines of his first start?
I think a lot of that has to do with Tua.
Exactly.
I think his focus is on, this week and really, not much else. I think he understands that it's not Tua against the Rams. It's the Dolphins against the Rams. And
maturity, man.
You know, he's a team guy. You know, I think his teammates are supportive of him, and that's kind of the approach we've all taken. And I think he's taking that approach also.
Travis?
Hey, good morning, Coach. NFL Next Gen Stats has the Rams as the most condensed split offense in the NFL, and you guys as the widest split pre-snap offense. I'm curious, what are some advantages of having that widespread offense pre-snap, and what are some challenges of facing an offense that's so condensed in their formations?
I mean, there's challenges to, you know, facing a team that's just defensively, that's, you know, lines up both wide and condensed. I think a lot of it's based on your personnel. So, you know, each team is different. You got different players, different skill sets. I think in some cases, lining up condensed with the guys you have is, you know, may have some more advantages than lining up, you know, wide. I think, you know, having a mix of both is always good, just so your opponent's not, you know, locked in on one or the other. And the Rams do a good job of that. It's not all condensed. They definitely spread it out. And I'm not sure if the Next Gen Stats has, you know, their ability to line up quickly on the ball. I think a lot of they line up quickly. That's why they're condensed, because they get to the ball and snap it quickly.
Very geeky question that fans won't care about.
Time. I'm not sure if the Next Gen Stats sees all that.
It's too much of an X's and O's geeky question.
But yeah, there's advantages to lining up tight. I would say one of them is that they can get to the ball quickly and snap it quickly. And there's some advantages to lining up wide. So they do a good job of both.
And he's not going to talk down either philosophy.
Brian, baseball has its share of left-handed pitchers. Why does the NFL not have left-handed quarterbacks outside of yours?
I don't know how. I mean, I really don't know. I don't have an answer for the left-handed folks of the world and why they do or don't play quarterback. I'm sorry, Hal. I don't have an answer for that one.
Adam?
Yeah, Flo, I had another question about the election. It's obviously a pretty divisive time in our country. You're one that likes having open dialogue within your team, but also it can lead to some hard feelings, one side on the other. What's that mix there of being open and honest and also respecting each other's beliefs?
I mean, I think you just said it. I mean, I think you got to, you know, be respectful. You know, have those open dialogues. But I think, you know, personally, I think those dialogues are easier in, you know, in a team setting where guys know that there's actually, you know, they care for one another. So that's different than two people who don't know each other, you know, having a discussion about some of those topics. I think when you care about somebody and you're willing to listen to hear their side of it, and the background in which they came up with their feelings on this topic or that topic, you know, their family situation, how they grew up. I mean, I don't think I think that's a big part of the discussion that I'm not sure is had a lot of the time. So I think in a team setting like this, all those conversations are had. It's not just, you know, let's call it Democrat and Republican. It goes a little bit deeper than that, which is, I think, good, very good.
Omar?
Flo, I want to ask you about Aaron Donald. Obviously, so much attention has to be paid to a guy who's a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. But how much pressure does that put on the other guys who aren't doubling, winning their one-on-ones or holding their own?
Yeah, I mean they have good players, outside of Aaron Donald, a lot of good players. So again, it's going to be a team effort. I think yeah, Aaron Donald's a great player. He's very productive, high energy, high intensity, high effort. But you see that from a lot of their guys. So obviously we'll pay close attention to him, Aaron Donald I'm speaking of. But
a lot of
like
generic
I said
stuff.
all week, I think Leonard Floyd's playing real good football right now. So is Brockers. So is Jalen Ramsey. You got Johnson, a BC guy back there, playing good ball as well. So it's a tough test, really across the board. They got a good team.
I got one more question. We'll go to Cam.
Had to slide in the BC reference in there, huh?
There's only a few. There's only a few.
I know the over, I guess maybe the last 5 years, we've heard more about the RPOs, and obviously Tua was really good at those in college. From the defensive perspective, can you maybe explain what pressure the RPO puts on a defense?
I mean, it puts you in conflict. A run player. They're reading basically the run player, and if the run player plays run, they throw a pass. So if the run player plays pass, they run it. So put you in immediate conflict. So I think just defensively, you have to do a good job of recognizing those sets and adjusting the defense in order to play those schemes. I mean, we really haven't done much of that, this season. So, I think it's a couple days of practice. It's hard to, put something in like that. So we'll just, if we see them, I know they got a couple of them over there. Not too many, but we have to be ready to defend them on a weekly basis. I think they show up every week in this league in some form or fashion. So.
All right, there you go. That's the head coach, Brian Flores. Not much today. There wasn't really a lot of sauce. It was kind of lame. Some of the questions were, and it's funny because they're talking about a lot of the scheme and the RPOs and all that. It just would be funny if this week's game doesn't call for a lot of that and they run something else. You know what I mean? It's just funny. But anyway, is what it is. That's Coach Flo. We got to wrap it up here. I've got to go. I've got to go back up to the stadium now.
Are you going to say the magic word?
Yes, I've got a meeting. We thank all of you out there. Leon Fresco, thank you for a little love on the Super Chats. Appreciate all of you out there, as always, for keeping it locked. We thank all the great people out here at Toyota of Hollywood for making it nice and easy. Steve Ostrov, and, of course, Herbie Lopez, all the great people out there.
I know that, dude.
Where'd you get this? Super Chats!
Oh, gnarly!
It's a beautiful thing.
You're like out of here in such a hurry, man. Like he's a blur, guys. He's already gone.
Yep.
He's out the door. He's in his car.
Close.
Look, he started. Look, he's driving up the highway. There he
Pretty
goes.
close.
You see him?
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I got to hurry up to get into traffic to get all the way to Commercial Boulevard. Anyway, you all be good out there. I love you all for tuning in, as always, and keeping it locked here. We will continue to rock pretty much every day here on the podcast.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Craig Zinn.
Craig Zinn tomorrow, 2 o'clock. We'll be out there rocking. If you get a chance, please lock it in to Onside Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Onside Radio. Lock in, bookmark the website, onsideradio.com. You'll love it there. We got a great lineup. So please support us out there, as always. And thank you all for supporting the podcast. You guys are awesome. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, different place, the same bat channel. Y'all be good. Much love.
Is it incorrect to say enjoy the game tonight? Because it is Atlanta and Carolina.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
Try to enjoy it.
I don't even know if it's worth enjoying.
We'll see. Maybe somebody has somebody in fantasy.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, may the good wager be yours.
We'll
Y'all
see
be
you
good.
tomorrow. Please